Hi everyone, this is a video in response to Desiree's uh, week 11 extra credit video over the article What's That Story by Laura Atkins. I chose to respond to this video specifically just because we read the same article and talked about a few of the same things, but whereas I focused on the impact of whiteness in the publishing company and how it was produced, she focused more on just why it's wrong in general to have authors change authentic and accurate books um, to be more suitable for the white majority and what they deem appropriate. So kind of an idea that she brought up was just because some people, um, like a portion of the population may think that the child Deshawn's life was hard and that the experiences and things wouldn't happen in a suburb or rural area doesn't mean they should have to change it. So pretty much just because Deshawn's everyday life and everyday experiences were much different than, say, a student who lived in a rural or suburb area doesn't mean that they need to take out the dark and heavy and negative things because this child lived this way. Like this child did see crack pipes. This child, did see the sirens or hear the sirens and see the sirens and see all the police cars and the things that, are a part of everyday life when you're growing up in the city, and more specifically when you're growing up in the projects in the Bronx. Um, and I don't think the book is there to celebrate the negative aspects of living in like the projects or the Bronx, but it is a true picture of what it was like to grow up in the Bronx. And just because it might be hard for, say, an adult or a student or a teacher or librarian to understand what it was actually like for someone to grow up in the Bronx, there are children who are growing up in the Bronx. There are children who are growing up in the projects. Um, and so that's real life to them, and that's real life to many kids and schools. And if we're going to be teaching in cities in the future, as a teacher, A, we need to be aware that this happens. Our students are growing up in maybe not what we would see it called like the nicest neighborhoods, and they may see things that they may not be able to explain or understand, but they're still seeing drugs and violence and things like that that go along with living in a very highly populated area, such as a city. And we can't not talk about it. We can't not say, push that to the side. It's just one of those things, like if it's a part of their life, they're going to bring it into the classroom just because it's where they live. They're going to talk about what they did on the weekend. They're going to talk about what they saw on the weekend. And so as a teacher, A, you need to have that community in a classroom to be able to discuss this, but also you want to educate all your students. So if you do teach in a classroom that's socioeconomically diverse or is diverse with students who live in this like in a suburb urban area and then some students that live in the very metropolitan area, you need to prepare yourself and the parents of your students that you will be discussing things that they may not feel comfortable with, but it's a part of life and it's part of some of your students' backgrounds, and it's real, it's true, and it's honest. So to take something from its purest form and most authentic form and change it just so some parents think it's safer for their children to read is wrong, because it's not accurate anymore and it's not authentic. And the whole point is to prepare our children for the real world. And when we change stories that are true and that are real experiences, we're not really preparing them. We're only hindering them for when they get out there on their own, or when they do come in contact with a person who has grown up in that situation. They may not know how to react correctly or in general be able to relate to that student. Whereas if we provide them with books such like Deshawn's Days, where it hadn't been edited so much that they might be more comfortable talking about, their lifestyle, and they might just be able to make a friend easier. So, and that's all the end goal, to teach our students and to create a community that's welcoming of every aspect of life, of everyone from every aspect of life, and just, yeah, celebrate, or to celebrate individualism, but to really just be more understanding of people who are different from us.